आगे बढ़ो, इधर पास करो, जल्दी.
All right, let's dive into something that's a real head-scratcher. We're talking about a country that makes some of the best footballs in the entire world, but can't seem to field a team to compete with them. It's a paradox, and we're going to unpack it.
So yeah, this is the core question, right? It's this wild story of incredible, world-class craftsmanship on one side, and just, well, systemic failure on the other. How can both of these things be true for the same country, for the same sport? And this really lays it all out, plain and simple. On the left, you've got Sialkot, a city that's basically a manufacturing powerhouse, churning out footballs for the World Cup and Champions League. But then you look at the other side of the coin, and the reality is a national team that's struggling at the very bottom of the FIFA rankings, and a domestic league that's barely off the ground. So how in the world did we get here? Well, the first part of the answer, according to our source material, is a decade of what you could call governance gridlock.
And man, it has been a chaotic 10 years. Just look at this timeline. Starting back in 2015, the Pakistan Football Federation basically got torn apart by internal power struggles. You had rival groups fighting for control, which led to lawsuits, different people claiming to be in charge, and of course FIFA stepping in to suspend them multiple times. You just can't make any progress like that.
And you can just feel the frustration in this quote from a club manager. It really says it all, doesn't it? It captures how all that political infighting has absolutely crippled the sport, pushing out the people who actually know football and just stopping any real development dead in its tracks.
But the politics is only half the story. The other huge problem is what we can call a market mismatch. Basically, the entire business of football in Pakistan is completely upside down.
To really get a sense of this, just look at this number. That's the value of the TV rights for Pakistan's domestic cricket league. So it's not that there isn't money in sports in Pakistan. The market is there, and it is massive.
But for football, it's the exact opposite. This quote from a club owner in Karachi is just mind-blowing. It reveals this totally backward model where the football clubs actually have to pay the TV networks to get their games on the air. Think about that for a second.
And that creates this vicious cycle, right? Cricket gets all the media attention, so sponsors go there. Football clubs can't provide good data to prove their value, the experience of the games isn't great, and a lot of the teams are run by corporations instead of cities, so you don't build that passionate local fan base that's the lifeblood of the sport everywhere else.
Okay, so that sounds pretty bleak, I know. But here's the good news. There is a way forward. The source material actually lays out a super clear, actionable plan to fix this whole mess.
And it's really about starting with the absolute basics. Step 1, just make a reliable schedule so teams and fans know what's happening. Step 2, run a few pilot competitions, kind of like a test run, to prove the concept works and build some trust. And finally, Step 3, you take what you've learned and build out a full professional league system. It's all about building momentum, one step at a time.
Because here's the thing, fixing football in Pakistan isn't just about the sport itself. It's about tapping into something so much bigger. It's about unlocking the country's national potential.
And what does that potential look like? It looks like this number. 65 million. That's how many young people are in Pakistan. A healthy football ecosystem isn't just about entertainment. It's about giving millions of kids opportunity, purpose, and a massive source of national pride.
Which really brings us back to the big question at the end of all this. The passion is there, the potential is absolutely enormous, and now there's even a clear roadmap for success. The only thing left to ask is if the will to follow it is there too.